Hi, my name is Tom Sanford and I'm the Executive Director with North Olympic Land Trust. Normally, we'd be all coming together in celebration of the harvest for our 20-some harvest dinner that would be celebrating local food, local community, local chefs, and this year, well, things are a little different. And so many of you have already received a Harvest Farm Share, which features food from at least 10 different farms and are able to really jump in and celebrate the bounty. As a special treat, what I have for you right now is an opportunity to see Chef Arran Stark with Jefferson Healthcare and Chef Gabriel Schuenemann with Alderwood Bistro, and the two of them have put together for you a little cooking demonstration to show you what they're going to do with their farm share. Before we turn it over to them though, I'd love for you to just save 6:30 p.m. on September 30th, a Wednesday, on your calendars for a little program we're doing which is called Rooted in Community, celebrating our local bounty. And that's also going to be a part of Harvest Dinner this year. And what that will be is an online event where we will be celebrating our 22nd Farmer of the Year, which is going to all of our local community-supported agriculture businesses. And then we're going to hear a little bit more about the Land Trust and have an opportunity to help gather more funds to make this all continue to go. So you should be expecting information on that and how to log in shortly, but 6:30 on Wednesday, September 30th. And so with that, I'd like to turn things over to Chef Arran and Chef Gabriel. Enjoy it.
Hi there, I'm Gabriel Schuenemann from Alderwood Bistro.
Hey, I'm Arran Stark from Jefferson Healthcare. You know, for 10 years plus, we've done the North Olympic Land Trust dinner, and we miss out this year due to COVID-19. So
we're here in Mama's Kitchen, Jim and Susie's kitchen, showing you some tips and techniques for utilizing your harvest bag. All right, I'm gonna make for you a beautiful roasted beet hummus. So you got some fresh beets here. We're just gonna trim off the ends, clean them up, and we're gonna roast them. That's our first process because the beets take the longest to cook. We're gonna peel them up, dice them to speed up the cooking process, toss them in a little olive oil, salt and pepper, and roast them. So beets in, a little drizzle of olive oil to season it, and then we're gonna put it in the oven for about half an hour. And then we're gonna save these greens here. We're gonna save the peels and the stems to make a little treat later. And what we're gonna need is toasted sunflower seeds, some garlic, cooked garbanzo beans. You can use canned, it's fine. And then our roasted beets, a little bit of Berber spice is one of my favorites. You can find it at the co-op or Sunny Farms. It has a nice rich depth to it, some spice, has cardamom, hot pepper, some cumin. It's delicious with beets. So we're gonna get started with a half cup of sunflower seeds, nicely toasted. We're gonna make like a sunflower seed tahini. All right, once you get those guys fine, you put in a couple, 3 cloves of garlic and your spice. I'll do about a teaspoon of the Berber and 2 teaspoons of salt.
what could you use in replacement of Berber spice?
If you just have some like smoked paprika and cumin in your cabinet, that's fine. It's really whatever flavor profile you want to go with. You could take it, just salt and pepper is great, and fresh herbs, but we're gonna work with these aromatics today. All right, so now what we're gonna do is take our garbanzo beans and strain out some of the cooking liquid. We can use that liquid later to adjust the texture. Put our garbanzo beans in. When I cook garbanzo beans, I tend to put a little celery and carrots in there, and you can just leave them in for flavor. And then we're gonna put in about a cup of beets there to 3 cups of garbanzo beans. And might as well at the same time get it all going. Some lemon zest,
What's that tool you're using, Gabriel?
That's a little microplane. Some clever woodworker repurposed a wood rasp and made a lot of money. And we're going to squeeze in some lemon. It's really important to balance out with acidity. Always add some brightness of vinegar or lemon juice, lime juice. And then fresh herbs, some cilantro, and we're ready to go. All right, so now we got it pretty well pureed. We're gonna drizzle in olive oil and a little bit of the cooking liquid just to balance out the texture.
So when you talk about consistency of this hummus, really it depends on what you're going to use the hummus for, right?
That's
it's
true.
Like if you're going to use it as a dip for chips, it needs to be kind of light. If you're going to use it to stand alone, it's going to be a little bit heavier, denser.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like it to be like a thick, I like to be able to spoon it where it still stands up a little bit. So to give a little taste.
Is it there?
Tasting beautiful. All right, I think that's a wrap. We got the beautiful texture. Nice, nice brightness. You can taste a little bit of the heat. The garlic comes through, but not too pungently. I think that'll work.
Can I try?
Please.
Oh yeah. I really like that spice. Oh, that's something special.
All right.
And the sunflower seeds really set it off, dude.
Nice.
Yeah. Gluten-free,
Mm-hmm.
vegetarian,
Yeah.
and no nut allergies because sunflower seeds aren't a nut.
Yeah.
Coolio.
All right, now I'm gonna make you a beautiful fritter. The fritter's gonna have carrots, potato, and onions. First what we're gonna do is break down our onion. Take off both ends and split it down the middle. That makes it very easy to peel. Just take off the outer layer. There we go. Then for our carrots, we're just gonna cut them into manageable size. There we go. Carrots, split our potatoes, everything just washed and it's gonna come together. Then we're gonna just turn these out into our colander. We wanna take some of the liquid out of them so that our fritter is nice and fluffy, not too much liquid. So what we do is we put in 2 teaspoons of mixed salt and pepper. And we toss that in there, and the salt's gonna draw out the moisture. So usually we let that sit for 15 to 20 minutes and then press out the liquid. All right, the next part of our fritter, we're gonna have 3 eggs, 1 cup of gluten-free flour I'm using today, but you can use whatever flour you have handy in your kitchen, and a teaspoon of baking soda. We're just gonna work that in. We're gonna add 1 more teaspoon of salt. We have 2 mixed in with the vegetables to help release the liquid. All right. And 3 eggs, lightly beaten. So fritter's basically a little bit of egg, flour, and then vegetables or fruits. A lot of people know about apple fritters, but this is kind of a melding of root vegetables, potato, onion, and we're gonna put a little spice in it too. Again, my go-to spice with root vegetables is the berber. I'm gonna put in a teaspoon of bourbon, mix it in with the baking soda and salt into your flour as we wait for the vegetables to leach out some of the liquid. It's been 15 minutes. Our vegetables have been macerating in the salt, and we're just gonna squeeze out the liquid. And in the method and the idea of sustainable cooking, we try to utilize everything we can. So the peels from the vegetables we use for stock, and then this beautiful starchy juice that I'm squeezing out here can be a nice addition to a simple soup. You just add a little celery, carrots, and onions, saute them up, and this juice will add a nice depth and flavor to your soup. So we really don't have to throw anything away. So I squeezed out a good bit of moisture there, and I'm just gonna incorporate the flour and eggs. And then we're gonna put this into a preheated cast iron pan and put it in the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes. And we'll have a delicious root vegetable fritter that can be a wonderful addition to breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Just depending what kind of little accompaniments you add with it. Maybe you put a fried egg on it, or a spicy sauce, or a piece of seared fish. Really, it's up to your imagination how you finish it. All right, we heat our pan up. Get a little oil in the bottom. All right, so we've incorporated the flour nicely and the eggs. Everything is ready to go in the oven.
Gabriel, is your pan overheat right now?
Yep, I got a little heat going on. We want to help build a little crust. So by preheating it now, it'll be less likely to stick, and it'll give us a nice golden crust on the bottom. All right, our fritter's been cooking for 20 minutes at 400 degrees, and we're gonna try some. We're just gonna loosen it a little bit, flip it out. There we go. Carrot, potato, and onion fritter. You can see the nice cross section there. Beautiful fireworks of carrot melded with potato and onion. Let's have a little taste.
I want some. Oh yeah. Well, the carrots really are there, man.
And then it has a nice little warmth of the spice on the back palate. Nice.
Very nice. Hey folks, today we're going to be playing with a North Olympic end of summer green saute. Start out with some kale. Kale generally has a woody stem to it, so we like to remove the leaves from the stem. The way I do that is just grab the stem and just pull that stem through, so we're actually pulling the leaves off. I'm going to bunch them up here. Some people say, hey, can I eat the stems? If you got strong teeth, go for it, buddy. But there's that. I'm just going to compost out my stems here, and then really quick, just mow through a nice chop. Using that knife as like a micro saw, sawing through those greens, and I'm just going to give it a mow through like this. I'm going to hand them over to Gabriel here. Gabriel's going to blanch them. What are you doing, Gabriel?
We've got a big pot here, rolling boil. We're going to put a healthy amount of salt in. You really want your water to taste like the ocean. So I would say a half cup of salt for that amount of water.
Is that kosher salt?
Yeah, kosher salt. I like sea salt a lot as well, but whatever you have on hand.
Cool. The other green we're going to use is beet greens. Beets, Wow, maybe the most perfect vegetable there is. Why? Because you can eat the root, the stem, and the leaves. What I'm gonna start out by doing is just pulling off the roots that we'll deal with later. I think we have a surprise later, right?
Yep.
It's gonna be kind of fun. So those go right there. Again, just a nice mow through on these beet greens, which are a cousin of, you guessed it, chard. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna add these to it. Boom, right here.
Keep those aside for a
We'll
second.
keep these, yep.
We're gonna add these first because they take a little bit longer to cook. And we'll get the stems in first. Stems take 3 to 5 minutes, and the greens only take a minute and a half or so. All right, while those are blanching, I'm gonna get my saute going. So we got our green tops ready. We're gonna get a pan warmed up here, and I'm gonna get some carrots and onions going. Sweat it down for our saute. We're gonna use carrots, onions, and also some apple today. It's fall now, so time to start embracing those fall flavors, apples and pears and sage and rosemary. So getting my when you're chopping, it's really important to keep your fingers tucked underneath and keep always a flat surface on the cutting board. All right, get those in the pan. Get a little oil in there. We're gonna start sweating them down, season them right away. Start softening up those carrot and onions. Then we're gonna get our carrot going. Carrot, again, flat surface, so I'm gonna cut it in half to make it more stable. And then come through thin slices. There we go. Line them up. And then we're just gonna do a nice little small dice on it. Taste one, make sure they're good. Yep. All right, get our carrots in there and start that process going. And then the next thing I'm gonna do is get my beautiful apple from Grandpa's orchard over here. I'm gonna take off the peels. Then we have left over from our first project, we have some beet peels. We're gonna give you a little bonus recipe after this, utilizing our apple peels and our beet peels. I'm going to take off the outside of the apple. You see, you're going to take 2 big slabs off of the outside and then 2 small. We're going to save that as well. Small diced apple. All right, now it's been about 3 to 5 minutes here. Give her a little beat. Oh yeah, al dente, wonderful. We're going to put in the rest of our greens now. These guys take anywhere from 1.5 to 3 minutes depending on the thickness of the leaf. Often if you're doing a lot at once, at the restaurant we would blanch it and shock it with an ice bath so that we can cool it down quickly for use later. But if you're just doing a small amount for dinner, you can just go straight into the saute pan and not have to waste and dirty another dish. So our carrots are getting soft and our onions are caramelizing a little bit. I'm gonna season it again. Get these out of the way for now. So this is our little secret weapon at the restaurant. We use this on just about everything. This is what we call it chunkies. I don't know where it got its name from, but it stuck a while back. It's a chunked up garlic, herbs, and lemon zest. So I take a couple bunches of parsley, thyme, sometimes tarragon if I have it. I love to add some layers of different flavored herbs. But always parsley, oregano, tarragon, garlic, and lemon zest. And then I just mix it with a blend of olive oil and safflower oil, and it keeps in the refrigerator for a month, no problem. And then it's wonderful to just add a quick little bit of fresh herbs and garlic to whatever you're making. We just got an email last week. One of my customers asked how to make our sauteed greens so good. So I'll have to give her a link to this video. So carrots and herbs to start with. My greens are just about done. I'm gonna add a nug of butter and some of this garlic and herbs. And then we'll put the apple in. We just want to put the apple in at the very end so it still has some texture to it. It's important to taste your apple too, because some apples are inherently quite soft, and so they'll cook in 30 seconds as opposed to like baking apples or hard storing apples, which are quite dense and need more time to cook. So here we go. We're just gonna let our greens drain. Then about 2 minutes on the greens and 3 minutes all on the stems, so everything's nice and al dente. Put our greens in there, again, season. Look at those colors. Beautiful orange carrots, white apples, and some white wine now, nice dry white wine like a Sauv Blanc. Give a little taste. Yeah, salt's good. And there we have it, a fall green sauté of kale, beets, apples, and carrots.
Oh yeah. I'm the taste tester.
Yep, and also again, I like to finish with a little bit of lemon juice.
Oh, that's there.
We're a sustainable kitchen, so we're using everything. You saw on my last recipes, I saved the peels and the core from the apples and some of the peels from the beets as well. We're gonna utilize these to make a delicious shrub syrup. So I'm gonna show you how to peel the apple with a proper Swiss peeler. First you take the tops off and the bottom, and then you just run straight down the sides, quick and easy. All right, so all these peels are going together into a sauce pot. Get them in there. It's gonna have a beautiful blush color to it from the beets. And we're gonna add a nice little nub of ginger, smash it to release the flavor. We're gonna add 3 star anise. Star anise is one of my go-to ingredients. I guess you could call it my secret ingredient. And then we're gonna put 2 cups of sugar in there, 2 cups of water. So we're basically making a simple syrup and infusing the flavors of ginger, star anise, apple, and beet peel. So we're gonna get that in there and just turn it on, get it to a rolling boil. Maybe cook it for 5 to 10 minutes, turn it off, just let it come to room temperature. And then let it infuse, and we'll strain it and have a delicious syrup to make a cocktail with, or a nice, fresh, refreshing, just a drink with sparkling water. All right, so now our syrup's been cooking down now for maybe 10 or 15 minutes. So this is our melding of simple syrup. It's 2 cups of sugar, 2 cups of water, and then the peels and cores from our apples and the peels from our beet. I enlivened it with some fresh ginger, star anise, and I'm gonna finish, just put a little rosemary in because I don't want too much rosemary flavor. Just to embrace the fall that's coming upon us right now. So there we go, we're gonna strain that out. Beautiful. All right, and then, so the shrub part of it is now balancing the sweetness with the acidity, which is something as chefs we always work with in every dish we do. Balancing acid and sweet, and texture, color, flavor. Those are all things we think about all the time. All right, so we have our shrub finished up here. We're just letting it cool on the counter. And the shrub is a beautiful, bright, refreshing drink that you can have as a mocktail with just ice and sparkling water, or you can put in your favorite alcohol as well. I'm doing a little brown sugar bourbon. Shaking over ice with a little muddled rosemary. Look at that color. The beets just bring through this gorgeous color. And we garnish with a little apple. So a little apple in there. A little sprig of rosemary. Here's our mocktail. A little syrup, ice, and sparkling water. Deliciously refreshing. The shrubs are the predecessor of the soda. People have like excess harvest of any kind of fruits at the end of fall. Like right now we have a bounty of apples or blackberries. And you just usually do about equal parts of sugar and fruit, macerate it, and then balance it with the equal part of vinegar. And there we go. Here you are, brother.
Thanks, brother man.
Cheers. Awesome cooking with you.
Yeah, dude.